guys, if you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. Okay guys, it's me. I'm back and it is Friday, August 16th, and it is 9:47 p.m. I'm going to just stop saying things like, oh, I'm getting a late start and all that, because you know what? I'm just a late person. I do better later at night. So I'm going to stop, and then when I record early, it'll just be a surprise for everyone. But I hate to say that I'm going to record early and then I don't, because there are people that look for it and, well, it's just not fair. So there you go. Now, we're going to be looking at Q news today, obviously, because we do not have any Q posts. 8chan is still down. But I did want to take a moment, so please, if you don't like chatting, fast forward about, I don't know, several minutes and to get into the news. But I wanted to take just a bit of time to thank some of the people that have mailed things to my post office box. And Ms. Valerie Luster from Connecticut, thank you. I got your card and your donation, and I really appreciate that. And Tim Spearman from Wisconsin, thank you for your letter and donation. Jay Greenlee from Iowa, thank you so much for the card. And Matt, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, but it's Matt from Indiana. Donation and a card, and also he put a couple of little cards in there that he wanted me to sign and return. I don't know why you would want my signature, but hey, I'm happy to do that for you, and we'll put it in the mail on Monday. And Allison Milligan from Ohio, card and donation, and a wonderful letter that you wrote. I enjoy the letters that you guys send, even when it's just a few little, little note. I love it. And then there is Brenda Zaka. I'm probably not pronouncing your last name right. Forgive me. But you're from Colorado. And you sent letters, a very, very sweet letter that I loved. And you sent pictures. And I hope you don't mind that I'm going to show them. But this is, and I hope you can see it, this is her cat. Let me see if I can, there we go. I don't want to get her cat. And Percy Zaka is the cat's name. I love that. And apparently he is a real character. And this is her beloved ferret. I forgot what they were called, and I'm going to have to get this closer so you can see it. But there she is with her ferret, and the ferret passed away, but she now has her beautiful orange cat, Percy. Love that. P-U-U-P-U-R-R-C-Y, like Percy. I love that. And let me see here. Rick South from Texas, thank you. He sent me a book that he had written, and I appreciate that very much. And Barb Bell from Ohio, she sent a lovely letter and a t-shirt that says, "Life is better in the country." I think that's what it says. Life is better in the country. I'm not good at, but anyway, thank you so much for that. I haven't worn it yet, but I will. And Denise and Diane is a mother and daughter, and I'm not sure which sent me which, but I don't know if Denise is the mother or the daughter and vice versa, but one of them sent me this. One cat away from being a crazy cat lady. And that's about right. Yeah. 2 cats, that's fine, because they can keep each other company. 3 cats, yeah, you might be a cat lady. 5 cats, oh, definitely. You're all into being a cat lady. Nothing wrong with that. I believe in giving pets a good home, and if you're able to take in more than one and you enjoy that and have the space, then why not? More to love. My cats are both rambunctious tonight. And the the other one sent me this throat coat, and it is tea for my throat. Isn't that sweet? And I actually have used this because you guys probably don't know this, but I sang a great deal. I sang professionally when I was younger, and I sang most of my life. So I have used this before, but I don't know if it's available here. I will look and see though, but I had forgotten all about it. And this stuff is amazing. If you sing or you speak a lot, it's great tea. And it does work. Now, this is a card I wanted to show you now. Who is this from? This is from Joy. Did I mention her yet? Joy Greenlee from Iowa sent this card, and donation, I believe, as well. And look at this. It says 9 lives later, and it's got this picture of a cat. I thought that was so sweet. I love it. And still looking fabulous. Happy birthday. Thank you guys that all sent me birthday cards and so forth. That's so sweet. And I am going to be getting much better with thanking, people that buy me coffee, and also, oh my gosh, my cats have my papers everywhere. I had them in a pile, all nicely sorted on my kitchen table, and they are everywhere. So, and also I wanted to mention, I don't know, I cannot find the envelope to this, but some sweet person sent me, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Cepacol or Cepacol, but it's sore throat and cough, relieves sore throat pain, quiets cough, fast action, and maximum numbing. And I'm going to keep this beside me, actually, when I record, just in case I need one, because it's annoying to me when I have to cough, and it's got to be even more annoying to you guys. So whoever that is, please let me know, because I guess I've misplaced or lost the envelope that it came in. So please let me know in the comments if you sent me this, because I appreciate it. And I promise I'm gonna get better at thanking my Patreon supporters, and sending a note and answering emails and so forth. I am going to be having a friend that is wide awake and has been for many, many years, at least as many years as I have been. And she's going to be helping me some, and alerting me to things that I need to attend to and so forth, because I have a lot going on in my life, obviously, like we all do these days. And I'm sorry. Sorry, I thought I had that turned down, but apparently I didn't. So, yeah, I am very distractible. So, oh my gosh, my Sammy is on top of my china cabinet, and daintily walking around my china. I don't like that, but I don't think the Acme Can't Be Gone is going to reach that far. So anyway, yes, I promise I'm going to get better, because I'm terrible at, returning emails and stuff, because I get so bogged down. I get so many emails, and I do need to have somebody sort through, and also, that will open up more time for me to reply and thank you, because I really do appreciate it. And I don't want anybody to think, they're not appreciated, because that's not the case at all. It's me. I am just like a little flighty, got a lot going on, and also dealing with my own health issues with my back and so forth. So anyway, that's just an excuse, and, everybody has one. All right. Let's get into the news now. I'm betting that you can hear my tinkling china. Ooh, I don't want to have to stop recording and stage a intervention, but Sammy, come here. Come here. Oh, and now Xander's looking up at Sammy thinking, that looks fun. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, be still my heart. It's only things, it's only stuff, Okay, let's get into the news now, because I know that's why you came, and you don't want to hear about my cats and all that stuff, but indulge me. All right, let's get started here. I'm telling you, I don't know what has gotten into these cats, but one is tottering on my chair. my kitchen chair and, well, my dining room chair, and the other is on top of my china cabinet. All right, that's it. No more cats. Okay, now some of these things are humorous and some of them not so much. So let's get started. Now, this is from the dailymail.com, and the reason I can tell that is because it says dailymail.com right there. It says, communicating can be such a bug. Gigantic praying mantis terrorizes New York City subway riders as it hitches a ride on the 6 train. Well, you know, praying mantises, I guess that's not something that you New Yorkers are used to, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't freak out about a praying mantis, not here, but you know, to each his own. Praying mantis pictured just above the heads of New York subway riders. City Councilman Keith Powers described it as gigantic and frightening. He snapped the insect, hitching a ride on the uptown-bound 6 train on Tuesday. The snap has been liked more than 1,400 times and retweeted over 220 times. A praying mantis ensured there. Oh, that is a big praying mantis. Wow, that's Chernobyl. It must have come from Chernobyl or something. I don't know. It's definitely been eating its Wheaties. A praying mantis ensured that there were no flies on commuters as it hopped aboard a New York subway train. I take back what I said about not being freaked out about a praying mantis. Yeah, that would freak me out. Just saying. And caused quite a stir. City Councilman Keith Powers was traveling uptown on the 6 train when another rider told him his head was dangerously close to the long-legged insect. He snapped a picture of the mantis as it clung on to the metal inner frame of the subway cart and stared at passengers. Captured in its synonymous praying pose, the bug seemed, well, there's the rest of my paper's gone. The bug seemed unfazed by worried people around it, all eyeing up its sizable green and brown torso and black eyes, sharing it. Oh, it looks like it has no soul, those big black eyes. Captured in its synonymous, okay, I just read that. Sharing the post to social media, Powers wrote, like most New Yorkers, I'm frightened by the gigantic praying mantis on the subway, but also relieved that he didn't yell, it's showtime. Yeah, I'd be kind of relieved too. So yeah, that's a big praying mantis. It makes me wonder if it's real, because I have never in my life seen a praying mantis that big. And, you know, I grew up, well, in the country. I moved when I was 17 to Toronto, a big city, before I moved to the States. But I have never seen a praying mantis that large, and I've been around farms. So, I don't know. Anyway, the latter part referring to subway performers who often yell the phrase showtime before carrying out a dance-based or aerial display inside train carriages. The tweet has been liked 1,400 times and retweeted over 220 times as of Wednesday evening. Equally amused and horrified by the insect, social media users left comments including OMG, scary, and holy crackers. Count Bird lawyer joked, careful, last guy who said that to her got his head torn off. Yeah. And I've seen roaches, rats, but that's creepy. #CityKid replied Roger Clark. Anytime, anything that eats mosquitoes is okay with me. Commute and safari in one, Nama Yehuda added. City Council Speaker Corey Johnson credited the New York City transit boss with the new passenger. Andy Byford continues to improve the subways and up the game, he wrote. Powers last posted a shot of the movie poster for 1957 disaster thriller hit, The Deadly Mantis. Yeah, seems like that would really pack in the crowds. Well, it's better than Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. And yes, there really was a movie called that. Powers later posted a shot of the movie posted for 1957 disaster thriller hit, The Deadly Mantis. The film fittingly sees the giant insect being tracked from the North Pole to Manhattan by a U.S. colonel and a paleontologist. From the North Pole, there are no praying mantis up on the North Pole. I'm just saying. I mean, if you're going to have a movie, at least make it a little bit believable. Now, that's just as scary as the praying mantis, if you ask me. But, you didn't. Oh, that is New York City Councilman Keith Powers. So I'm sorry, but I don't know. He does look a little scary to me. Not as bad as the praying mantis, but it's up there. So one Twitter account for a bedbug hunting dog above commented that a praying mantis might not be the worst find on a New York subway. Well, I'd have to agree with that. Never underestimate your opponent. Well, this is interesting. Let's look at this. Never underestimate your opponent.
Like most mantises, it can hardly fly. Attack is the best form of defense.
Good Lord. I'm scared.
The lizard freezes in shock. The mantis takes full advantage. It may not inject any venom like...
I can't watch that. That's horrific. I had no idea that praying mantises did that, really. And now I'm going to have nightmares. I'm sorry. Okay, and an account for Roscoe, the bedbug dog, chimed in to state that it's better to find a praying mantis than bedbugs hitching a ride. Well, that's true. Opinions of New York wrote, wow, the only other gigantic praying mantis I've seen on the subway was New York City mayor when his SUV taking him to his mid-morning workout broke down. Another user jested that it must be Teenage Mutant Ninja Mantis. Well, I think it must have been. Even the official MTA subway Twitter account responded, sharing a GIF of film character Beetlejuice stating the words, "It's showtime," to which one user replied that the account wins the Twitter award. Flying bat spooks passenger on New York subway. You know what? Just remind me not to ride the subway in New York. And if I do, you know, perchance think about it, tell me no. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. What did I do with my teddy bear? I don't know. I think I gave it away. All right. Okay. Let's go back now and stop being silly. Now, let's look at this. And speaking of this person, Marianne Williamson, in one of my letters, which one was it? Allison Milligan sent me some very interesting information on Marianne Williamson, and she had, I guess I got to go back and read it, but I guess she has written a book about the occult or whatever, and Allison Milligan had run across it, so I am going to look that up. So anyway, how Hillary's seances led to the rise of the left's new age guru, Marianne Williamson. She spooks the heck out of me, really. She does. There's something about her. I notice this with people that engage in evil. It tends to show up on their faces and especially in their eyes. And I'm telling you, as soon as I saw her, I knew she was into the occult before I even knew she was into the occult. There's just something there that takes over. And yeah. How did Marianne Williamson, the author of 21 Spiritual Lessons for Surrendering Your Weight Forever, okay, and other stuff you might see on the bottom layer of a garage sale, end up on the 2020 debate stage? I'm asking myself the same question. The obvious answer is that she's been there for a very long time. Lefties love to claim that they're the movement that believes in science, but the third law of thermodynamics isn't something you believe in. Fermat's principle doesn't give you your life meaning. Marianne teaches you spiritual lessons about weight loss on an episode of Oprah Does. Oprah Does? I must have been away from TV for a long time. Hillary Clinton held a seance in the White House, the seance overseen by Jean Houston, the author of The Hero and the Goddess, The Odyssey as Pathway to Personal transformation encouraged Hillary to contact Eleanor Roosevelt. Yes, I remember hearing about this. Hillary and Houston hit it off after the Clintons invited self-help book authors to Camp David to help them cope with their defeat. Collective eye roll, everyone, please. So they had to have these people help them and hold their hands and, you know, tell them, sing Kumbaya and, you know, just generally keep them happy and non-stressed. Anyway, the authors included Marianne Williamson. Marianne Williamson had reportedly participated in some of Hillary's White House seances. Well, good for her. Esquire claimed that Hillary Clinton had met her at a fundraiser where the New Age guru made such an impression that she was invited to stay in the Lincoln bedroom. Boy, the people that have stayed there, I bet you that's one haunted place. I'm just saying. Unlike Andrew Yang, Williamson isn't a fringe character who somehow made it into the debate stage, where when she ran for Congress, her backers included Dennis Kucinich, who told supporters, "You are the ones who are calling forward a reality by the name of Marianne Williamson." Excuse me? You are the ones who are calling forward a reality by the name of Marianne Williamson? And Jennifer Cranholm, the former governor of Michigan, who headed a key Hillary super PAC. Williamson is a crackpot. Oh yeah, way cracked. In fact, she's so cracked, I don't even think you could call her a pot anymore. But her crack pottery fills the broken china closets of the Democrats. She got this far because the upper echelons of the Dems don't believe in God, but they do believe in crazy. Yes, and they think we're crazy. When Hillary Clinton wasn't trying to commune with Eleanor and Gandhi, she... Oh, hang on. That was little Xander. Yes, and there's a short in my light because, let's see how dark it is. Well, it's pretty dark. Let me see here. Sometimes when I can get it just so, it'll come back on. Woo, it's bright now. Woo. Okay. He was too fast for me to grab my Acme Cat Be Gone and remind me to get another cord for my ring light. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm telling you, they're a headache. They're a headache. I love them, but they're a headache. Okay, let's get back to the news because that's what you came here for, right? Wasn't it? Or was it? If it wasn't, what did you come here for? All right. Where am I? Right here. That's where I am. Right here. Okay. I'm going to just pick up from where I left off because, well, I'm professional. Not really, but... Okay. Let's hope the video gets better from here on in. Esquire claimed that Hillary Clinton had met her at a fundraiser. Okay, we already read that. Unlike Andrew Yang, Williamson isn't a fringe character who saw... Okay, we've already read that. Williamson is a crackpot. We've already read that too. When Hillary Clinton wasn't trying to commune with Eleanor and Gandhi, she appeared to share the obsession of John Podesta, her campaign chair, with UFOs. There was bafflement when former Senator, Majority Leader Harry Reid was caught earmarking $22 million to study UFOs earlier this year. Yeah, that's a really good use of taxpayer money. But the wall, they had to argue about that. Earlier this year, Reid claimed that there was a UFO race between Russia's KGB, which no longer exists, China, and America. Well, the man's crazy. $10 million went to the donor interested in UFOs who had written Harry $10,000 worth of checks. The UFO research quickly took a dive into the paranormal, which, according to a senior manager, included studying bizarre creatures, poltergeist activity, invisible entities. The reports were subcontracted to a research team led by a psychic espionage researcher. Compare that to President Trump being briefed on U.S. UFOs and dismissing them. And they call Trump crazy. Right. Oh, I believe in UFOs. I just don't believe that they are aliens. And that's fine. You can disagree. That's okay. We can respect each other and agree to disagree on some items. Absolutely. We're not going to ever agree on everything. All right, remind me again which party believes in science. Democrats were twice as likely as Republicans to think that astrology is very scientific, and the Democrats split equally down the middle, it should be not down on the middle, on whether astrology was or wasn't scientific. Liberals were more likely to believe in astrology than conservatives. 43% of liberals believe that astrology. Why? What are you doing? Get. I'm sorry. He was at it again. Liberals were more likely to believe in astrology than conservatives. 43% of liberals believed that astrology was scientific, while only 26% of conservatives did. Only 48.6% of Democrats, compared to 62% of Republicans, were able to correctly answer that the Earth revolves around the sun. Really? Only 48.6% of Democrats, but 62% of Republicans, and they call us stupid. 58% of Democrats compared to 37% of Republicans believed in UFOs. 35% of Democrats and 27% of Republicans believe that they experienced the paranormal. I do believe in the paranormal now, but I believe it's demonic. 69% of Democrats compared to 49% of Republicans believe in ghosts. Well, that should surprise no one. That's why Marianne Williamson is up there on the debate stage. The only surprise is that it took this long for an unabashed representative of what the Democrats really believe to finally show up. At the 2020 debates, the Democrats are letting their leftist freak flag fly. Ooh, that's hard to say. Leftist freak flag fly. They're coming out of the closet about their support for taking away everyone's health insurance, dismantling the border, and freeing criminals. Why shouldn't they come out of the closet about their New Age beliefs? 70% of Republicans believe in the God of the Bible. Only 45% of Democrats do. 39% believe in some other power or spiritual force. 14% don't believe in any kind of higher power. 47% of white Democrats say that religion isn't really important in their lives. What do they believe in? Themselves, I guess. Because if you don't believe in a God, then you are your own God. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be my own God. All right. Spirituality, auras, energy forces, karma, battling dark psychic forces, being attuned to the universe. They believe in, among other things, the founder of the Church of Today, who lived in a commune, worked as a cabaret singer, ran a New Age bookstore, and became a fave of Oprah and Hillary Clinton. One sometimes gets the impression that the mere words socialism and communism draw towards them with magnetic force every fruit juice drinker, nudist, sandal-wearing, sex maniac, Quaker, nature cure quack, pacifist, and feminist in England, George Orwell wrote. But do lefty politics draw in nuts and kooks for no apparent reason? Or is the insanity baked inside? Well, some of them are baked. You got to admit that. Are Marianne Williamson's crazy rants about dark psychic forces and force fields related to her politics? Or is the socialist conviction that the world needs careful management by the enlightened to cure us all of human nature exactly the sort of political philosophy that attracts quacks and kooks? Behind the facade of reason, the light side of the left, with its plan for a totalitarian utopia of resource management, speech policing, constant re-education, and disposition of the unworthy, is a dark side of festering demons, spirits, ghosts, sorceress powers, and invisible visitors from other realm. The light side claims that its ideas are the product of science, experts, and modern thought, but the dark side is throbbing with magical thinking, hysterical outbursts, senseless cruelty, and cults of personality. People don't believe in what speaks to their conscious, but their unconscious. The left likes to claim that its plans come out of the light side, but history shows they originate in the dark. That's why all the scientific plans never work out the way they are meant to. The revolutions devolve into blood rituals. The economic plans fall into corruption and chaos. And when it's done, masses of brutalized people wander in the shadows and wonder how it all could have happened. The answer is that leftists politics only pretend to come from the unconscious mind, but actually originate in the resentments, fantasies, and terrors of the unconscious mind. Leftism isn't reasoned, it's rationalized. Its politics are the wishes and vendettas of the subconscious filtered through pseudoscience. Marianne Williamson is unremarkable. After Trump's election, tens of thousands of women like her swarmed the streets wearing pink hats to shriek at the sky and repel the dark psychic forces. This caucus of crazy white women who underlie the leftist activist base are spiritual rather than religious. They believe that they have special insight and are much too smart for organized religion. They are convinced that women are more spiritually attuned than men, that progressives are more sensitive than everyone else, and that they project spiritual forces through their activism that will change the country. They believe in everything: ghosts, auras, energy forces, UFOs, and even angels, but not God. That would be blasphemous, because what they believe in, above all else, is themselves. Marianne Williamson, like Obama and Oprah, speak to the inner specialness, to their egos and their conviction that they were put on earth to change the world and feel good about themselves. They assure them that all their inner conflicts can be resolved by directing their energy into politics, and that they will be assured of immortality if their political activism puts them on the right side of history. They are their own goddesses. Their religion is narcissism, and their church is leftist politics. Hillary Clinton, despite being one of them, never actually managed to speak to them. That's one of the reasons why she lost. Even aside from Marianne Williamson, the 2020 field is full of Democrats trying out the rising cadences and long pauses of fake spirituality and impassioned vagueness. They use the borrowed poetry of religion to convey faith, but the only thing they believe in is themselves. Williamson will lose this race, just as she has lost the race to represent Beverly Hills in Congress. But eventually, the unofficial religion of the Democrat Party will get a guru as president of the United States. This is one of the best written articles I have ever read. And I'll tell you why. Because I guess most of you know, if you've been listening for a while, that I was involved in a cult. I've written a book about it, and I should be doing more writing, because that's what I do. I write. But anyway, it's very much like this. That is what they believed in. And to me, this is just so familiar. And everything that the Democrats believe in and how they project it, everything sounds so familiar to me, because they are their own gods. They are. They don't care about other people. They care about themselves. And I love that phrase. They're impassioned by their vagueness. You know, yeah, they're impassioned. They'll speak with passion. But what are they speaking, passionately about? Nothingness, vagueness, ambiguity. Very interesting article. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And let's go back here, because there's lots to get to. Yes. Now, this, speaking about the craziness, let's just look at this. No, really, let's. Yeah. Now, I hope that, you're like me and you go, what? Coke to sell Dasani water in aluminum cans to reduce plastic usage. Okay. So you'll reduce plastic usage and up aluminum usage. Okay. Plastics can be recycled just as aluminum can. Aluminum being put in landfills is, how long does that take to break down? Forever. Yeah, water in cans. That's something I'm so excited about. The Coca-Cola Company has said it will start selling its Dasani water brand in aluminum cans starting this fall as part of a new line of sustainable packaging that is designed to reduce plastic usage. Okay. The new Dasani aluminum cans are set to launch in the northeastern United States in the fall and expand to other regions in 2020. The company said in its announcement on Tuesday. Dasani will offer aluminum bottles as part of the new packaging line. Why not put them in glass? I'm just saying. You could, offer a return on them, and glass is very much recyclable. Anyway, it's rooted in providing sustainable options for our consumers. No, it's not. No, it's not. While doubling down on our commitment to minimize our impact on the environment, said Dasani brand director Lauren King in a statement. These people are crazy. They're crazy. It's rooted in providing, okay, I already read that. Dasani didn't say if it would phase out traditional plastic water bottles as part of its environmental initiative. Yeah, I think that they would want to do that. If the goal is to reduce plastic, then why would they offer aluminum and plastic water bottles? I don't know. I don't get that. The whole world has gone crazy. Innovation is at the center of how we're exploring different ways to provide people with more sustainable choices when it comes to their drinking water. Check it out. Well, I won't be drinking water out of a can. I will be providing my own water from home. I buy distilled water. I love the taste of it. And, I pour it in my own containers and take it with me because that's more sustainable. The announcement comes a little more than a month after competitor Aquafina, which is owned by Pepsi, said it would begin selling water in cans starting in 2020. I guess you call that a watering can. Aquafina can packaging will debut in U.S. food service outlets while the brand tests the move in retail. Tell me, when you were a child, did you ever think you'd be drinking water out of a can? No, I didn't either. Alrighty. So Pepsi said in its announcement that the move is expected to eliminate more than 8,000 metric tons of virgin plastic and approximately 11,000 metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions, representing the latest ambitious steps in the company's sustainability journey and pursuit of a circular economy for plastics. But the aluminum is okay? So it's Dasani's new initiative is part of Coke's global World Without Waste goal to make its bottles and cans with an average of 50% recyclable material by 2030. The new line of Dasani packaging also includes the hybrid bottle, which is made of a mix of up to 50% plant-based renewable and recycled plastic materials. Well, there you go. Yeah, water in cans. Water in cans. I just want to read a couple of these. Water with metal, just like out of the tap. Does it come in hose flavor? I love some of these comments. Rubber or plastic? Used to ask, is it rubber, plastic, or sheepskin? Okay, well, now it's getting a little bit out there, but all I want to know is the price going up? Well, naturally. The plastic bottle is 20 ounces and the new aluminum bottle is 16 ounces, as well as the larger can. I'm willing to guess that they will probably keep the current price despite the offering of less product. Companies often do this when they give their packaging new looks. Yes, you can bet that they're not doing this for the environment. Really. Yeah. It's a marketing ploy. That's it. Aluminum ore is mined diesel in Australia and shipped diesel to Iceland to be smelted down into a usable metal before it is shipped diesel to America. This is done because it takes so much electric and Iceland has cheap power. Very little is actually recycled, so I guarantee it takes 10 times the carbon to create. The very reason plastic is not recycled is because it is so cheap to make. Plastic and aluminum are both highly recyclable and Okay, well, who is this? Is this somebody from, says, well, you know what? We've had enough of that. Let's go back, because that's not, it is news, but it's just one of those stupid things. Alrighty, let's look at this. No, really, let's. All right. Ew. Well, at least they stopped showing me weight loss. Now they're showing me parasites in the gut. I don't know what these people think I have. As Muslims flood Europe, attacks against Christianity spike to unforeseen heights. Well, naturally, Christianity has become the most persecuted religion in the world, and that is a fact. I have looked up those statistics. That is a fact. In recent years, and this fact is obvious looking at Europe, where vandalism and terror are rapidly becoming part and parcel of the cultural landscape, the Observatory on Intolerance and Discrimination Against Christians is reporting that attacks on Christianity, as well as vandalism of churches and monuments, are rising steeply. In France alone, anti-Christian attacks have quadrupled from 2008 to 2019 as the Muslim invasion has taken hold. The mainstream media and the Catholic Church have been unwilling to speak about this persecution as it gets in the way of their social justice narrative of pushing for third world refugees to overwhelm the West. They have largely swept this epidemic under the rug, allowing it to worsen exponentially in recent years. These recent events, compiled by Catholic Herald Communist, I don't know where I get these words. I just make them up as I go. These recent events, compiled by Catholic Herald columnist Matthew Schmitz, represent the new normal that Christians throughout Europe now have to deal with. On July 26, paint was splashed on the faces and crotches of figures in the Valinhos Way of the Cross in Fatima, Portugal. Unbelievable. On July 27th, someone set fire to St. Mauritius Catholic Church in Kippenheim, Germany. Yeah, none of this is surprising. On July 28th, 3 men entered the sacristy of a Catholic church somewhere in Poland, demanded vestments for use in a same-sex wedding, and beat the church's pastor. Okay. On July 29th, a man set fire to St. Magnus Church of somewhere in Germany. Well, these are, I mean, really, I couldn't believe it when you had the whole thing that took place with Notre Dame. I couldn't believe when I looked at the statistics of how many church burnings there had actually been. It was unbelievable for the size of France. I mean, it was in the hundreds, like it was way over 500. I think it was 670 some. That's almost, it's inconceivable, but it's also almost unforgivable. I mean, I can't imagine. Everybody wants to have respect for their religion, but they won't give the Christians respect for theirs. I don't understand that. Well, I do, but on August 1st, excrement was smeared on the doors of Sant Antonio in somewhere in Italy. And on August 3rd, 4 windows were found smashed at St. Michael's Church in Ireland. 6 windows were smashed in Catholic Church in Liverpool, England, and the word beast was written on the church. I'm not sure what's going on here, but makes it kind of hard to read. But anyway, yeah, so this is, I mean, these are just a drop in the bucket. It's happening here in North America. It's happening everywhere. There are attacks on Christians, but especially in Europe. And it came with the increase in refugees. All right, now let's go back. There's more to come. There's always more to come. Okay, let's look at this. Again, one of those things that just make you go, what? Well, here we're back to diets again. The best diet for lazy people. What are you saying, people? I'm not lazy. I might not be the thinnest person in the world, but I'm within the height and weight charts. Normal. Starting to get a complex here. A flashback. Former mistress claimed Bill Clinton regularly pranced around in her black nightie. Now, there's a picture that you won't be able to get out of your head. I'm glad that we don't have an actual picture. No, really, I am. All right. The painting in Jeffrey Epstein's home shows another side to Slick Willie's degeneracy. One of Bill Clinton's alleged ex-lovers, former Miss Arkansas, Sally Miller, claimed that he would regularly jump into her frilly black nightgown and dance around while playing the sax as they were having their illicit affair. They allegedly had sexual relations through 1983 when Clinton was serving as Arkansas governor. Miller claimed his lovemaking was mediocre at best, but he would always bash his wife Hillary and divulge intimate secrets about his frigid and unappealing wife. Well, there's something we can agree on. I mean, I don't know if she's frigid or not, but she appears like the ice queen. Yeah, like, you know, I think if you touched her, like, you would just turn to ice and die. But anyway, I'm just saying. Before Miller released her tell-all memoir in 2016, she reported that she was being stalked and received threatening phone calls, which prompted her to sleep next to a fully loaded semi-automatic firearm every night. She claimed in a social media post that if she were to suddenly die via suicide, similar to what recently happened to disgraced sex criminal, Epic Find, nobody should believe it. She doesn't care what I say about Bill. That's old news, Miller said to the Daily Mail, referring to Hillary, but I think she wonders what Bill told me. I think she wonders how much I know about her that came from Bill. Miller confirmed rumors that Hillary is a lesbian and that the marriage between Bill and she has been a ruse to fuel each other's ruthless political ambitions all these years. No. Who didn't know that? No one. Bill didn't mind telling me that Hillary doesn't like sex, Miller said. I take him at his word, and he told me she likes females more than men. She was the child of a more progressive community. She was exposed to all the liberals. She was a flower child. Hillary does drugs, too. That's the only time that she would entertain the idea. Again, this is what Bill told me, she added. Bill was apparently sexually frustrated with Hillary, and as he wanted the former Miss Arkansas to come over to his home and show Hillary how to please a man. Okay. And that doesn't surprise me at all. It really doesn't. And, you know, I kind of figured that that was kind of the case with them, because when the whole thing happened with Monica Lewinsky, you know, Hillary just stuck by her man. And yet she's such a feminist and a proud and bold, you know, she is just not the wilting wallflower that would just say, I'm going to stick by my man. It confused me because it sent a divided message that what he did was okay, that, you know, and I don't know. To me, I was like, yeah, she's not going to leave him because she has designs on a political career, and that might ruin it. She wouldn't be so important then. So, and she needed those connections. That's why she stayed with him. I don't think it had anything to do with love. They don't even share a child together. I mean, Chelsea belongs to Webster Hubble. And you can tell, because if you see a picture of Webster Hubble and Chelsea, identical, even with plastic surgery. Seriously. Okay. Miller claimed she had her affair with Clinton when she was 44 years of age and 7 years older than the young Arkansas political prodigy at the time. They had originally met when she was a Senate aide at the Arkansas State Capitol in the 1970s and frequently talked to the upstart Clinton at fundraisers and other events. Bill is not the most handsome man, but he makes you feel like you're Breasts are the right size. Your legs are perfect length. You have an incredible body. And on top of all that, you're beautiful. There are not many men that can make a woman feel that way, Miller said, confirming that Slick Willie can be quite the charmer. No, actually, there are men that can make you feel like that. They're called real men, but not that he is one. But, you know, it's crazy. While it may have been easy to discount Miller's claims as salacious innuendo meant to sell books, the painting of Clinton uncovered on the late Epstein's Epic Finds property adds a new air of credibility to Miller's allegations. Another piece to the Clinton Epic Find conspiracy, paintings of Bill Clinton in Monica Lewinsky's blue dress found in Epic Find's mansion, another piece to the puzzle. I'm glad Bill didn't become First Lady. And I am too. If Miller's story of Clinton's cross-dressing are true, Clinton may conceivably have posed in that dress while the painting was being rendered. Now, that painting was made by an artist, and it was actually, she was still in school, and but she definitely must have had the right connections. Now, they held an art show in, I believe it was New York, and the artist said that she knew the painting had sold, but she wasn't aware of who had bought it, and apparently it must have been bought by Epic Find, or else it made its way to him at some point. So, but this artist, seeing the other things that she painted, and the fact that Bill has 6 fingers there, makes me believe that she knows, the inner, because look, the red shoes, yeah, all that. Plus, I do have, remember I told you I was going to look into the 6 fingers? I did. So I'll have that in a bit as well. Alrighty. It's interesting. The whole 6 fingers bit. I had a feeling what it was, and surely, of course, when I looked into it, it confirmed it. So, all right. Let's go back. No, really. Let's. Okay. Now, I've got a ton of stuff tonight. I'm going to have to come back and do another video, I think, but let's get to this. Okay. Video, students sign petition to ban offensive white man in crosswalk signs. Okay. With the rise of politically correct culture, nothing, not even crosswalk signs, are off limits. And while I'm thinking about this, you know how they're all against, like were all up in arms about the Volkswagen commercial because it pictured a woman with a baby, and they said that was gender stereotypical and had no place in whatever. Well, you know how the bathroom signs always have the woman with a dress? Why hasn't anything been done about that? I'm just saying, they're so hypocritical. They pick things and leave other things. Crazy. Alrighty. Campus Reform went undercover to George Washington University to ask students if they supported changing the offensive and oppressive white man in crosswalk lights as well. With the rise of politically correct culture, students and universities have vehemently pushed for diversity and inclusivity movements, resulting in many things being labeled offensive. Well, to the social justice warriors, the snowflakes of today's age, everything is offensive. So in the past, students have signed fake petitions to ban offensive holidays like Valentine's Day and even Christmas to push diversity and inclusion. Amid these ongoing diversity and inclusivity movements, Campus Reform went to George Washington University in Washington, D.C., where students previously voted to ban their offensive Colonials mascot. GW students also previously told Campus Reform that President Barack Obama is the best president in U.S. history. Okay, maybe they should stay in school. Okay, and campus correspondent Ethan Kai asked George Washington students if they supported changing offensive crosswalk lights because the walk sign only portrays an image of a white man. How far will this movement of diversity and inclusion go? Where will the line be drawn for what is considered offensive? And this person said, I can see that. I guess why some students have a problem with it. I'll totally sign that. Yeah. So let's just, peruse this for a moment.
I'm Ethan Kai with Campus Reform, and today we're at George Washington University. That is a white man. Will students sign a fake petition to change it in the name of diversity and inclusion? Let's find out. Would you be willing to sign a petition for me? The crosswalk signs, we're trying to petition to have them changed. Some students on campus have been offended by them because it's just a picture of a white man. We're proposing that we could change them to be more representative of an inclusive environment.
That's so cute! Oh my god, yeah! Wait, that's awesome!
Is this something you've thought about before?
No, I never thought about it, but I can see, I guess, why some students have a problem with it. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I'll totally sign that.
We propose, these other
so
things
lit.
so it could be more,
Yeah.
We just didn't want to offend anyone,
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So is this something you guys can get on board with?
Absolutely, yeah.
You guys sign for me?
I assume it's one of many ways in which the default is imagined to be a white man. This isn't probably the most important one to me, but I totally get that it would be important to other people.
But we're trying to be, we're trying to be pioneers.
Well, that's a good idea.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
I haven't really thought of it as a white guy. I've just thought of it as the lightest white.
I mean, now that I've thought about it, I haven't ever thought about it, but it's just one of those things that it's definitely a lack of representation. Yeah, for sure.
Is this something you've thought about before?
Yeah.
I think it's a good
Yeah,
idea.
right.
The only problem is if you're doing such a variety, there might be just a lot of money involved.
How do you think students who are offended by this would feel?
Probably more validated. Yeah.
Of course I'll stop, and this is super cool.
It's kind of simple, Just a guy walking across the street, but if it can help other people out, then why not,
Well, that's annoying. Anyway, yeah. So that's how far it's going. They don't even know that they're just being scammed by this. They're like, oh yeah, okay, I'll sign that. I could totally see why people would be offended. Well, I totally can't. So there you go. Okay. Because then you could say, well, why is it a man? Why is it not a woman? And if it's a man and a woman, what about all the other genders? As if there are. Okay, let's go back now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end on the whole six-finger thing. Now, I remembered vaguely reading about six fingers in the Bible because I have studied it extensively for many, many, many years, and I know scripture, and stuff like that sticks in my mind because it's unusual. And I remembered about in the Old Testament, and I remembered it was near the first part where there were giants that had six fingers, but the giants were it sounds crazy until you actually look into this and find out the fact that they have found the skeletons of giants all over the earth and have been keeping it subdued. It used to be in the newspapers years ago, but not anymore. They're keeping a close, tight lid on that. But, of course, we have the story of David and Goliath was a giant. Well, who were the giants? The giants where the fallen angels came down and they found the daughters of men attractive, and so there was a mixing of that DNA, the DNA of these fallen angels with mankind. It formed giants, and many of them had deformities like six fingers. So this is important because what the six fingers are saying is that they have, either it's saying that they are of corrupted DNA, or that they are part of this, or they worship these fallen beings, which I know that they do. That is exactly who they are worshiping. But let's just go here. I think I have it up somewhere. I wanted to show you just when I did a Google search on it, what I found all through. Let me see here. This is from Disclosed TV. Fallen angels and the 6 digits phenomenon. How popular is the 6-digit phenomenon? There have been talks of giants once roaming the earth, and actually there is a lot of proof about that. Who have not 5 but 6 fingers. 6 fingers have also been mentioned in the Bible, and it has, that this is a trait that has passed on to humans of today. The DNA code for 6 fingers is typically dormant, but it can become dominant. There have been groups of people born with a 6th finger that is fully functional, and in some cases they have had 6 toes as well. And let me see here. So here is a skeleton showing 6 fingers, and I don't know how to pronounce this. Tribe of Ecuador, a certain tribe known as the Guarani, maybe, living in Ecuador, has many members who have 6 fingers and toes. They are normal-sized people who are known for their violence, and 50% of all deaths in the 5 generations were due to homicide. The people of Guarani are classed as the enigma, as they have no traces of cardiovascular disease, cancer, high blood pressure, allergies, or indeed any other known disease. The members of the tribe are said to also be physically strong. The 6-finger phenomenon is not only limited to the Guarani, tribe, as it shows up in some people around the globe. There are other tribes that have had the same phenomenon through their lines. And here is a boy with both hands have 6 fingers. James Needham talked about the Melungeons having 6 fingers. Englishman James Needham explored the Tennessee Valley along with a servant and some Indians, and he spoke about a tribe of hairy people who would gather to talk about the ringing of a bell. He said that they talked in a language unknown but looked European and were white with long beards. He said that they were descendants of Portuguese who were left on the Atlantic coast after a shipwreck and used the Portuguese. They were called the Melungeons, and it was said that they had 6 fingers and 6 toes. So yeah, and I'm not going to go through all these people, but it says giants said to have 6 toes. A giant's remains were found in County Antrim in Ireland in 1985 during mining. The giant was said to be 12 feet tall and had 6 toes on the right foot. The weight of the giant was over 2 tons, and it took more than half a dozen men using a powerful crane to lift the body into position to have a photograph taken with it. The giant was part of an exhibition in England, but it was somehow lost later on. And it's funny how there are all these pictures, but the bones of these giants, you know, they're gone. They disappear routinely. But there are a lot of pictures out there, and I know there are people that say, no, they were faked. No, you really do some research on it, and they really have found, the remains of giants. And of course, if you believe the word of God, there were giants in the land, and it was caused through the mixing of blood. So the blood of the fallen angels and the blood of mankind. So these were particularly fearsome and very violent people, and that is who David went up against when he went up against Goliath. So and it says there has been mention of a people with 6 digits in the Bible. It says the Bible that there was a great war at Gath, and there was a man of great stature, probably a giant. He had 6 fingers on both hands and 6 toes on both feet. Skeletons of giant with 6 fingers found in California. And this is in the Catalina Museum in California. L.A. Marzulli found photographs and document of Ralph Glidden, a man who conducted primitive archaeological digs on the island during the 20s and 30s. He said that he had found skeletons of some Native American Indians and another race that were over 9 feet tall. A photograph showed a skeleton and it had 6 fingers. So these are hard to explain, and there's stories in all cultures of finding these skeletons, but somehow a lot of them go missing. And these were taken, most of these were taken back when, you know, they couldn't fake pictures like they do today. So yeah. So yeah, that is the whole 6-finger thing. I do believe, and it says here a Sumerian statue also has 6 fingers on his hand, and the Sumerians were very, very wicked breed of people. Well, not really a breed, but they were wicked people. There have been many statues that show people with 6 fingers. Below is a statue of a musician from the Iron Age with 6 fingers. So yeah, this is there's something to that. There's something to the fact that both Obama and Bill Clinton were pictured with 6 fingers. And I'd have to check with the picture of George Bush, whether it had that or not. But definitely those two, Obama and Bill Clinton. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, the one with President Bush flying the airplane there. Yeah, I think that one also had 6 fingers, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm going to have to check on that. But there you go. It's interesting, to say the very least. And it has to do with the fallen race. And so they are making a statement. That artist is making a statement. And is probably quite familiar with the whole culture and occult surrounding Clinton and Bush and all these guys. So there you go. And I think we're going to leave it there. If you have any comments about any of this that's been shared, please leave it in the comments below. Or if you just want to say hi or greet one another, that's great too. I love it when you all seem to know one another and have gotten to know one another and frequently banter things back and forth. And I love that because it's great to have that fellowship. So because it makes you feel like, hey, we're not alone out there. There's lots of us. So anyway, I'm going to call it a night right here. Night. And I am going to come back and do another short video. So it'll be a 2-header, double header tonight. So that's it for now. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. Boy, this almost looks like, when I do this, like I've got one of those things that slit right down to my navel, but I don't. It's all you know, very modest. Okay, that's it for tonight. And you guys stay safe, stay well, stay blessed, and sleep well. Have a good night's sleep. Rest well. And I will talk to you soon. And for you guys that are still up, I will be posting another video. All right. Good night. Keep seeking truth.